Now I have the Dollar Tree incandescent mini tree here, Christmas tree. First thing is take the legs, and this piece just slides right off, and just place it back in the box. We're not going to need it. The second thing you want to do is spread your limbs out. But bear in mind there's a section, just kind of roll it around and you'll see a section where it's pretty much the back. So you want to lay that down and then begin spreading the limbs out and up. This is going to be a Coastal Christmas Swag. And once you've gotten all of your limbs spreaded out, kind of like a bird, like you're gently holding a bird, and bring all of the limbs downward. Just kind of want to bring them, leave these spreaded out, but bring these downward, just like that. And this real long one right here, if you want to, you can take and bring it down and wrap it around that bare spot. Now this pipe right here, we're going to take our needle nose pliers and just press it down. Just press it just like that once you've got your tree flowing straightly. There we go. Voila. And just discard that. Make sure you go back and press this down. And I have a little bit of the mesh tubing that came from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to see how all this will work. These ornaments I painted with, this is my English Navy by Apple Barrel, also a plaid. And this one is the Folk Art Metallic Ice Blue by Plaid. In the meantime, we probably want to put our lights on this if you're going to put lights on it. I also have a couple of bells, and I'm basically decorating this the way I did my wreath. Some silver chenille stems here, and to get these to attach to my ornaments, I'm just gluing them into place. And that'll just help me to move more swiftly in attaching these to my tree. So just kind of bringing that out, bringing that out. And just keep doing that. Go to the other side, and you'll be able to straighten this out once you get all this situated. Okay, now once you get your bow situated, you can just attach it on to your little swag here. And since I have that made with wire and I've got it just like what I want, I'll bring it around to the back and anchoring it down. And the great thing is you can reuse this bow if you need to and use it on something else. Mushed it up there. Alright, now I also made this anchor, and I have put the rest of that little bit of mesh tubing, and I want to attach it to my tree and make it part of it. So I think I'm going to put it here because I don't want to take away from what's already. Now that incandescent mini Christmas tree just converted itself right into the most adorable, cutest nautical mini Christmas swag. This is suitable for about any hallway or doorway, and I think you'll really enjoy it with all of its coastal charm. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button. But don't go anywhere just yet, because next up is a Coastal Christmas Wreath using all Dollar Tree items. In doing my coastal farmhouse, I've got a variety of the cutouts from Dollar Tree that have to do with the ocean. And I have Waverly White Chalk, Apple Barrel's new English Navy, and the new metallic bottle Ice Blue of the Folk Arc. All of these are by Plaid. The Ice Blue metallic is absolutely gorgeous, and I've just taken an ink pen and detailed. That makes it a lot easier, and then of course you can use your paint markers too. So now that I've got all my die cut wood pieces painted, I can get into decorating my form. Well, I have two of these wreaths, and I'm not satisfied with the one. It just looks too skimpy, and it just doesn't have enough density. So I am going to put these two together so that I have some more fullness in my wreath. The best way to do it is you want to fluff this out, fluff the other one out, and then see which one is giving you the largest diameter. And once you decide that, you're going to take one of the ties and twist it around it and bring it out, and just maybe anchor it in about 4 places, almost as though the wreath has 4 corners to it. Now I've got my lights here. If you're going to add lights, you want to add those about this time, and then add your other pieces on as you go. The great thing about this type wreath is you'll be able to slide your ornaments on there if you wanted to. You could just slide them on there and let the wreath hold them, or you can tie them in place. Some of these ones like this, you're probably going to want to pin them, maybe put a chenille stem or some kind of wire and clip them on. Now always check your lights before you anchor them to your wreath. I'm going to use these mesh tubing lights. They have a seed light in them. They're LED, and they are super bright, and they look fantastic on something like this, and it'll give it that little bit of silver. Now what I'll do is make sure your screw is face up to where you can change your batteries and get to it if you desire to anchor this in place to it. Also, you want to look at your wreath and see where you want to align everything, what's going to be the straightest for you. Like it's really fluffy right here in this area, and that might be a good spot to put something larger. I have 2 beautiful ribbons here that I want to use that will continue in my coastal decor, my nautical, and this anchor, 5 anchors up, just above it will be 5 1/4, so that means I'm going to cut the burlap the same amount. And this is a burlap chevron, and of course going right in line with my navy blue, and continuing that. And the reason why you want these short is when you're looking at your wreath and you're going across it just like this, that 5 1/4 inches is more than sufficient, and you don't want to overdo it per se. I know that sounds impossible to overdo it with ribbon, but you really can. You can take away from it, or you can give to it. So now this is where you want to decide, are you going to give it a dovetail? And if you are, I'm going to make mine really short, because I know that this part is going to really be obvious. And if you'll fold your wire to the left if you're right-handed, and I'm not doing as deep an angle, I'm maybe doing a 35-degree angle and making these very small, because for one, they're going on this little wreath. And I'm going to first do 5 sets just like this, because I also have another ribbon. I have this anchor, and it is so gorgeous. And these have a different repeat on the ribbon. And if we measure that to get that full anchor in there, that's all I'm after. So I'm probably going to do 3 of these. It's better to do odds versus evens because the ornaments are about 4 at this point, and I'll have to add something to it. So what I will do is I will actually cut in between those anchors, and I'll cut me 3 of these anchors. So for my first one, I did 2 loops, making the tails the opposite. And I'm going to take my chenille stem and just bundle that together. And then that way I can tie this onto my wreath. And then most likely I will glue my anchor ribbon on there. And I will run that chenille stem actually under my light. Now to anchor your bells on there, just use some jute twine. These are the dull silver bells. They are just beautiful. So I'm going to do some jute twine. Now to make these look just like little bows, I'm just basically pressing them, folding, tucking that back. I'm using a chenille stem to go around the center. And then of course in the back, just giving them a twist, and then I'll anchor those to my wreath and then just stretch them out so that they look just like a bow. Now I've got my bells tied on, and I have all the ribbons and stuff into place. There's an area right here to where I can put me a beautiful bow, and I'm now deciding on a sign for the center. So using the English Navy for my plaque, and then on my little truck, because it reminds me so much of the beach Jeeps, I am actually using my paint markers to do the truck. And this has a couple of coats on it. When I first did my marker, it just wasn't acting right. So now I'm going to do my tires. Okay, now we can glue everything back into place. So we're going to place the truck in the center. Little sign for the wreath. I can't express to you how extremely pleased I am with this wreath. And it does have that southern charm to it with my blue truck in the center, just where it belongs, even though there's nautical items all about this wreath. The anchors and everything just in its place, along with the jute rope and the cord. And that ribbon from Walmart is spot on with the navy blue and silver Christmas trees, and then the white with the black monogrammed Merry Christmas running right through the center. And this is with it lit up. It's absolutely stunning. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate you giving it a thumbs up. And become part of my DIY team by subscribing to the channel. Make sure you click the bell to receive all notifications. And just so you can see how I put my bow together for this particular wreath, I do have this sped up. And even though it's moving very quickly, you do have the ability to pause as this video moves about. And then that way you can see how I put it together and duplicate the same thing. Be sure to check the end cards at the end of this video. I think you will find that there is a playlist of other Christmas ideas that you just might enjoy and would like to view. Until the next DIY, this is Elizabeth of the Dandysoap DIY channel saying Merry Christmas, and I'll be crafting, y'all.